Have you ever wondered what it's like to feel intense pleasure every hour, every day? I'm talking about something intimate that usually only happens in the bedroom. Something that doesn't happen as often as many women would want. An orgasm. Now, what if I told you there are people who experience it up to 100 times a day? What would that feel like, and would you want to be in their place? The answer lies in the experience of this mother who gets as many as 180 spontaneous orgasms in just 2 hours. It all happened when Cara Anania Carles was doing some grocery shopping, and she suddenly had a random feeling of arousal with whatever she saw, touched, and smelled. It was so weird, so random, and there was no reason to feel it at that time. And so she panicked.
What's going on?
She couldn't control it until the arousal turned into an actual orgasm. It was so intense that she fell on her knees and felt it multiple times. Which is strange because an orgasm happens only when you have an intention for it. Endorphins get released, leading to a feeling of pure pleasure. But pleasure is far from what Cara experienced.
Why is this happening?
Cara was so frightened and confused that she ran out of the store, but kept orgasming while she drove home. Her orgasms continued for 6 hours with only seconds in between. Cara was so terrified that it would never stop. And when it finally did, she thought that was it. She was relieved until it kept happening again and again. When she brought her 7-year-old son to school, when she accompanied him in the playground, it began to happen more often and almost everywhere. She tried very hard to hide it so no one would notice, because otherwise,
People will think I'm crazy.
she suffered like this for months. Until one day, she tried counting her orgasms.
180 orgasms in just 2 hours.
She was so concerned it was getting worse that despite her shame, she finally got a doctor's help.
You are suffering from persistent genital arousal disorder, or PGAD.
Her husband, Tony, couldn't believe what was happening to her. And crazily, it put a lot of pressure on Tony because Cara craved for more affection, intimacy, and physical contact since her hormones were off the charts. Tony had a hard time with this change, but he knew it was much tougher for his wife. It was so difficult that she had to quit her job and instead stay at home. But more than these physical and mental pains, what hurt Cara the most was that her condition affected how she took care of their son. She had trouble bringing him to school and picking him up. She couldn't be there for him in many activities they used to do. She even had to stop allowing his friends in their home, and it was hard to be affectionate with the son she loved so much. Worst of all, she couldn't explain to him what was going on because he was too young.
I'm becoming a bad mother. I feel dirty around my son. How can I make his life normal if I'm not normal?
And so she tried everything to cure her condition. She took cold showers, she changed her diet, and she did more exercise. But nothing worked. Her condition, unfortunately, is incurable. If one is lucky, it'll go away on its own. But for Cara, her condition was a continuous, devastating battle. Physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Some days when it's really bad, I just want to shut the curtains and never get up.
It is true that all of us wish to have the best things in life all the time. We live in a generation where getting instant pleasure 24/7 is the dream life. But now that you've heard Cara's incredibly unique experience, I hope you realize that even too much of good can actually be bad. Too much pleasure can mean pain, and heaven for someone can easily be another person's hell.